So good morning. I am Corey Price. I am the host of Creative Mornings Charlottesville. There's a ton of new folks in the crowd here. So if you are new, you have that newbie sticker on your sweater or your shirt. If you don't mind raising your hand so we could say hello. Hello. Look at that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're so happy to have you here. Okay, so for those of you who are new to Creative Mornings, we are a global organization. We are in 223 chapters in 67 countries with 27,000 attendees per month. You are part of that 27,000. More than 10,000 talks online and 11.2 million video views. So we are really an expansive organization, and we are all over the globe, including itty-bitty Charlottesville. So this month's theme is ethos. And we always like to acknowledge our global and local partners. So first is our global partner, MailChimp. And I have a quick announcement from them. Whether you're an established agency veteran or a fledgling freelancer, you're always likely on the hunt for new ways to win new clients. In MailChimp & Company's 2022 benchmark report, 40% of respondents said that they spent too little time on new business development. For tips to help you learn how to refine your craft and raise your chances of landing your next big project, you can read MailChimp's 3 strategies for winning new business. So quick little announcement from them. And then I also want to thank our local partners. So those folks are Worth Higgins and Associates, Ting, The Fralin, Willow Tree, UVA Arts, The Bridge, and New City Arts. So thank you all. I also want to acknowledge Kristen Finn, who's in the back. Thank you, Kristen. And Jacob Cannon. All right, without further ado, I will introduce our speaker for today. James Eugene Dowell Jr., aka Littlez, was born in Jacksonville, North Carolina, and raised in Charlottesville, Virginia, where he attended grade school and graduated from Charlottesville High School. After high school, he attended Radford University, where he received his bachelor's degree in business administration with a concentration in marketing. Littlez is a co-founder of the prolific Run Crew, whose main purpose is to work for the empowerment of those who support the Run Crew and to highlight the historically marginalized Black and brown communities through runs. Littlez is an uncle to 6 nieces, 2 nephews, and 1 goddaughter. He enjoys traveling the world, exploring different foods, and considers himself an extrovert who loves spending much of his time with his family. So please welcome me in joining Littlez.
Welcome, everyone. How y'all feeling today? I would like to first thank the Creative Morning team that put this together, reaching out to me. I would like to thank Leslie, Dr. Andrea Douglas, the Jefferson School, my family, everyone that showed up, and Prolific. So at this time and point, let's give everyone a round of applause for showing up today. So for those that don't know, today's theme is ethos. So when Corey first reached out to me regarding the theme, this entire event, the month, off the top of my head, I immediately said yes. I didn't know what I signed up for, to be completely honest. As you can see on my name tag, I am a newbie, so this is my first time attending one of these events. So I immediately said yes. If Corey brought it to my attention, I knew I had to deal with a good cause. So here I am today. So when they first announced that I would be speaking, a great friend of mine, Kristen Finn, reached out and expressed her gratitude and mentioned like, hey, what are you going to talk about? And I was like, I have no idea. I really don't. And she was like, have you attended any of the Creative Morning events before? And I was like, oh, I haven't. And she was like, well, maybe you should take a look at the previous ones and maybe come with a plan. Because I was like, I'm going to just get up there and talk. I mean, that's what I do. I just freestyle. And she said, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear the word ethos? And I immediately responded with, I don't even think about the actual definition because I feel that I'm living the actual meaning. And she was like, that's it. That's it. I was like, what? She was like, what does it mean to live it? And I was like, yes, that is it. hung the phone up, and I forgot everything we talked about. So here's a slide. So I wanted to share the definition for those that wasn't aware of the meaning of ethos or what it actually meant, because there's a lot of meanings, and that's the first thing I thought to myself. Ethos can mean a lot of things. So the Webster definition is the characteristic spirit of a culture, era, or community as manifested in its beliefs and aspirations. And I said, oh, this is why Corey wanted me to speak. So the Greek word meaning is character. And I thought to myself, maybe I'm an individual with a lot of character. So with this next slide, I am sharing with you a short clip of me, an individual with a lot of character. The route that we run through is a 4.5-mile route through Black Charlottesville, through the Black communities. It's a celebration. I grew up in Charlottesville, Virginia. My grandparents from Charlottesville, Virginia. My dad and mom is from Charlottesville, Virginia, so that route means love to me because I know the people that live in those communities. A lot of people that's in the run crew that's never seen the neighborhoods we run through. Prolific is what Charlottesville needs to be and what is moving forward to be.
Hey! This is how you get to that early morning chicken. Anybody else gonna get it? We going to a 4-piece nugget. Yeah! I don't get tired. Only when the camera's not on.
So that last phrase, I don't get tired only when camera's not on me, is a lie, okay? I do get tired. But looking at that video, at times I sit back and I watch it and, I reflect just to think about, how far I've come in life, how my family has raised me. My biggest supporter, my dad, is here today. And just thinking about what ethos means to me, how it reflects on my life, and what does it mean to live it. So from all of that, I took from everything that I just said, I believe that it's how do you live. The first two words that come to mind when I think of the word ethos is spirit and beliefs. I'm going to take you down a journey of a short story of how I became the man I am today. Up until 2015, I had nothing wrong, nothing bad, nothing negative ever affect my life. So you're living on a high horse, you're invincible, nothing can go wrong. 2015, May, I received the most devastating news of my life. It was Thursday, Friday night, around 11, 12 o'clock. I received the news that my brother had passed away in a car accident, May 2015. Fast forward, August, some of you heard this story, may have heard it before. My grandfather passed away. That was 3 days before my birthday. Fast forward, 2016, my best friend was killed here in Charlottesville, July 2016, and in October or November, my uncle died of cancer. So this is 4 deaths, immediate tragedy, close to my family, close to me, close to my father, close to my grandparents, my mother, and it was something that we had never experienced before in our entire life. So you think about living your entire life where you're invincible, you're untouchable, everything goes right, and then you're hit with this rock, this weight. It's weighing on you, it's nothing you can do. Death is a close friend. And when I say close friend, I mean that in a positive way because death taught me a lot. It taught me how to live. And when I say it taught me how to live, you hear these rhetorical sayings or these cliche statements about how would you live if you knew it was your last day on earth. Live like it's your last, tomorrow's not promised. Those statements started being true to me. I actually started living that way. And I found out it was living free. I was living free. I started to live free. I made a commitment to myself after losing these important people in my life that I'm not going to keep thinking about these ways of what if. It's out of our control. It's nothing that I can do to bring those people back. But you can live through these people, and that's the spirit. So I took these individuals, close individuals, family members of me, and I lived through them throughout the rest of my life. And then I started realizing that it was contagious to others. It was like, man, are you really like this? Like, are you like this at home? Am I like this at home? So, you know, I started acknowledging it because it was hard for me to see myself. I didn't really understand what I was actually doing or how I was coming off to others or how my spirit was looked at from others or if it was contagious, my vibration. And then, you know, I looked myself in the mirror one day and realized that I'm not worried about anything that's out of my control in life because all we can do is wake up. And I'm appreciative. Every day I wake up, I look at that as a win. We all have our struggles. We all have our issues. We all may be in situations in life that we don't look forward to or we're not that proud of. To me, I don't care about none of that stuff. Like, I'm glad that I can wake up and live my life. So I found my true purpose through everything that I lived through, and it was to make others feel that way as well. So I made a commitment to myself that was my purpose on life, is to share love and to give out love in this world that others may not be receiving through what I dealt with and through what I went through in life. And it wasn't a fake. It wasn't a show. I wasn't putting on this costume. It's actually me. So through everything that I dealt with in life, it made me who I was today. And I kind of figured that may be why Corey wanted me to speak on the theme of ethos. So as you can see here, these are 4 of the why does it matter? Why does spirit, why does belief matter? All of that goes into why I live the way I live. So the $1 million question I would ask or leave with you today would be, how do you live? Actually think about that. Like, how am I living? Like, am I happy with the way that I'm living today? Can I make a change? I wake up tremendously proud of myself. Like, I'm proud of myself. Like, I'm not looking for recognition from others because I know what I'm capable of. So I live that way. And I'm proud to live that way, and I'm proud to acknowledge it. A lot of individuals, you know, they say stay humble, and you know, I had a talk with Will one day. He was like, "Who told us humble? Who told us that the word humble meant that you can't like accept your blessings or acknowledge yourself in this world where you're actually doing good work?" And I know that's right. I know that's right. I know that's right. Come on. So I'm sitting here today to tell you, acknowledge yourself. Be proud of yourself. Be proud of what you do. You don't have to look for recognition, and I don't either, but it's good to accept it when you receive it. So don't block it. Don't be blind to it. Accept it. Be proud of yourself. Keep moving on. And we can do hard things, and we've all been through some struggles in our life. So like, let's live through those struggles. Let's accept them. The hardest thing to do a lot of times is accept the hurt that you've been through. And that hurt can look like a lot of different things. And for myself, my hurt was getting close with death. And that ain't nothing nobody want to get close with. That shit's actually weird, to be honest. But it made me who I was today, and I'm not going to shy away from that. And that's what I'm telling you today. Don't shy away from your true self, your true person that's inside you. Accept it, be proud of yourself, and live your life. So remember that when you leave here today, ask yourself, how do you live? And that's the $1 million question. That's all I have to speak on with ethos today, and I'm going to finish with another video as to why I continue to live the way I do.
I don't feel so good, so love you guys. If the most I died, let me give me for you. I love you.
Oh, let me see your hat. Oh, y'all Kansas City Chief fans. Oh, I ain't know that. Let me see. Okay. Chiefs. Let me see your Scully. Okay. Kansas City.
Market got a free area.
No more cooking.
I don't think
All you got to do is put it at the end of the road.
Sorry, bite that
That
joint.
should be gone.
Is it good?
Let me get a piece.
No.
I want to bite it my own. Good looks, bud.
Hey, where your teeth at? Where your teeth at? Mm-hmm. Drew, you know, what's her name? You don't even know her name. That's Zen.
No.
Zuri.
Cuz got the little bars on there.
Well, if you're wearing tokens, that's easy.
Oh, see, so you like to cheat. Okay, what you got there?
Some prolific stuff.
All right, what the shirt say?
Prolific too.
Okay.
Baby, come give me something, oh. Baby, come give me something, oh. 'Cause I can't stop loving.
So, those were the 6 nieces, 2 nephews, 1 goddaughter. I put that on there to recognize them just so I wouldn't leave anyone out. Thank you all for coming, for showing up, for being you, and I guess we're open for Q&A now.
All right, so we have some time for Q&A. So if you've got a question, raise your hand, we'll call on you, and then if you don't mind repeating the question just so we've got it for the recording.
I can do that. Don't be shy. Oh, huh. What question do you have, sir? His question was, how did you live through the tragedy that you dealt with, and how did you help your family through that? I think my family helped me, to be honest. So I'm 29 years old, and the first time I seen my dad shed tears was when he lost his father, and that was 2015. So was that 7 years? 7 minus 29, 22. So 22 years of my life, I'd never witnessed my dad shed a tear. And I'm not saying that was a sign of, you know, him showing toughness. It was, I just didn't see it. I wasn't accustomed to it. I wasn't used to it. So dealing with the first 2 tragedy deaths of my life, it was kind of, you know, it was a state of where we were, I think we were all lost. We didn't know how to help each other. I don't even know we thought we was helping one another throughout this process of grieving and coping with death. I don't know if we knew we was helping each other. But for myself, I can say I was living with my dad at the time, so the love that he shared, and I was living with my stepmom as well, who's here with me today, my dad and my stepmom. The love that we shared and the connection that we built and grown, the love that we grown towards when we was living with each other throughout the death, I think it made us closer. So, you know, hugs started meaning more. Telling each other you love each other started meaning more when you would leave the house because you knew that it was possible that you may not make it home. So I think it was the connection that brought us together that helped us, but I don't think we actually knew we was helping each other until now. Like today, for me to speak about it, now I'm like, yo, that shit helped. Like him hugging me helped. Cause I mean, he's been hugging us since we've been kids, but you know, as a grown young man, you don't really get that touch you know, a lot of times. So to actually hug your father and your mother and tell them that you love them and you know they mean it, because you know they mean it. It's like, yo, this could be my last time hugging you. So you know that hug was, you know, is sentimental instead of just like, oh yeah, how you doing today? So I think it helped mold us who we were today, but we actually didn't even know we was helping each other. Corey put her hand up. I mean, not Corey, I'm sorry. Lexi put her hand up first.
Hey, we've got a mic over here. Hi, I went over here. So if you don't mind, if you have questions coming to the mic, we can't come to you. It's a little short, but we got options.
Littles, thank you for sharing this with us. So much of what I hear in what you're saying is presence, like living in a very present way. And I want to know what does that feel like for you? Like, what are the things that bring you joy? I mean, clearly, like, your family, prolific, but like when you are present in the moment each day living, how do you experience that, both in your body, but like in your mind's awareness as well?
I don't need to repeat that now, right? Lexi, that is a great question, and I say that because I actually live in, like today. I'm focused on today. I'm not thinking about tomorrow, and yesterday didn't even happen because it's over with. So I'm not sure if that actually answers your question, but like to live in the moment and to appreciate it, like I'm thankful for all of y'all that showed up. I'm not worried about what's about to happen at noon because that's none of my business and it's out of my control. So for y'all to show up today and be here right now, that's all I'm focused on. I'm not worried about work. You know what I mean? It's like, I got this thing later on. I don't care about that. I don't even know it's existing until it happens. So it's like when people ask, you nervous about speaking today? I didn't even realize I was speaking. And then I got here and I'm like, oh, it's time for me to speak. You know, so I'm not sure if that answers your question, but I mean, just like it's back to the, how would you live if you knew it was your last day on earth? It's like, no, like live in the moment. Actually do it. Like live right now. Don't worry about what's going on in the world today or within the next hour of your day. Focus on the now. And that's what I have to say to that.
So this isn't really a scholarly question, and you kind of just touched on it, but if you happen to know that it was your last day on Earth, how would you spend it? Would you go for a run? And then how has running shaped your thoughts about spirit and belief or ethos in general?
If I knew it was my last day on Earth, I'd probably spend every single dollar I have in my bank account right now. And that's just the God honest truth. I ain't even lying to you. I'm going to buy whatever it is that I wanted. I go in debt for it too. I don't care. I swipe that credit card. But running, yes. I didn't want to make this about prolific at all. I didn't want to make this about strictly running because I didn't want y'all to think this was me up here recruiting y'all. But running helped me, find myself throughout the grieving process and, coping with, all the loved ones that I've lost. Because it's hard, so you think about doing something that sucks. And that's what I mean, like I came friends with death. Like that's not something you want to become friends with. And that's kind of how I treat running. It's hard. And that's not something that's, it's pleasing to do, but it's hard. So if you can get used to it, it can help you battle these struggles in your life. And that's why I continue to show up. I mean, it's getting cold, so you might not see me, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but I'm still there. But it helps me deal with the struggles in life because it's a struggle. And if you can approach struggles in that way, it can help you deal with them, on your, whether you're at home, whether it's a struggle at work, your personal, a personal struggle financially, anything. If you do something hard, it can help you, kind of, shield the hurt that comes with the rest of everything in life. So that would be my advice or answer to your question.
Thank you for that. I wanted to say that many youth that I have encountered, especially male identified youth, and all the way up through folks who would consider themselves, like you said earlier, grown boys, right? Have really, really needed a hug. And so you talked earlier about your father hugging you and how that really, really helped you through. Can you talk about the connection between physical touch and togetherness, and how that impacts mind, body, and spirit?
Yes, and I think back when I was a teenager, or a minor growing up in school and even in college. It's just something that we're not used to, and even if you received it growing up, you still don't actually believe that, because it was like, I was just a baby, that's what they're supposed to do. So you lose that touch. And if you can ever find it, and when I say find it, it doesn't mean that it's not there, but if you look for it and you can accept it, I think it just can change your outlook on life. Like, I know that I got a family that care about me. So that physical touch allows me to focus on how I'm living and making sure like I can get back home to my family. And a lot of that could be out of my control as well, but I know that someone cares from the physical touch that I've received from my dad, from my mom, from my grandparents, that they care about me. And if you lose that physical touch spiritually, you just don't know that someone cares. You have no idea, so you kind of feel like you're in this world alone. And I'm not saying I've ever felt like that. At times I did, just because I was in a dark place. But for those that can't feel that connection, you feel lost. So I think it's very important to have that physical, that spiritual touch with whoever that is, because it can help you find yourself, and you can lose that. So I don't care if you're 30, 40, 50, 10, 5, 15, you will feel lost without that touch and that connection. So I think it's key, and I think it's important for especially us young men, young boys, to have that, because we lose it a lot of times, or they just don't have it growing up in homes. So I think it's crucial, and if I'm ever in a position where I can mentor or be a role model to others, that's why I love every moment I spend with my nieces and nephews. They have great parents, but outside of their household, a lot of individuals don't get that. And I'm making sure I'm giving it out every chance I get. All of the parents that's in here of kids that I'm around, I love their kids. I don't care if they don't care about me or love me, or I'm the annoying uncle or whatever, but they're going to get it from me, because I know a lot of times, a lot of people lack that.
All right, so we have time for one more question after this person. So if you have a burning, itching question, now is your time.
Thank you. I really enjoyed your talk, and I also want to just touch on loss. And 50 years ago, my brother-in-law died of a brain tumor. I was 17, and his loss was devastating. This was a person that lived life in the moment. He brought out the best in everyone that he saw. His death changed me. I couldn't make sense of it, because I thought, how can rotten people roam the earth and this great person is gone? And the only meaning I could make was that I needed to live the best of him, bring out the best in people. And I've striven every day to do that. So of your losses, how have you incorporated those people that you lost into your life?
I was about to burp, excuse me. I wasn't getting emotional. So I don't think I think about like how these individuals acted and impacted my life, and I try to like reiterate that. But I feel like it's a natural cause of, if you just care about someone and that someone you miss, they're just there with you. So I do things that remind me of them. So my grandparents, they hosted Sunday dinners since I've been in the 7th grade up until the pandemic. You know, so going to see my grandmother is, you know, me living out my grandfather. My brother loved lowrider Hondas. He loved, you know, fast cars of such. So, you know, I ain't gonna say speeding on the highway is something that, you know, remind me of him or that I do. But it's like living out their dreams. You know what these people love to do. You know what they enjoy to do. And it's checking on the people that they cared about. So I think about that a lot. You know, you go through the first month or the first week of losing someone, and you have the funeral, and you have the people checking on people, and then you go back to your normal lives, which is normal and which is okay. I made a commitment to check on these individuals that these people were close to, whether or not they were close to me, but checking on the people that they were close to, whether it was a friend of theirs. And it just could be a hello, but they understand while I'm doing it, or it gives them a sense of that's such and such checking on me, you know, like I needed that calling, you know. So, you know, I wouldn't, you know, I don't live my life thinking how would they actually live, but it's just more so doing things that remind me of them, if that makes sense.
Thank you, Littles. This has been awesome. What I heard from your talk is that for you, ethos is not only the way you live, but how you inspire other people to live. And I was curious, can you remember when you first realized that you had a gift in terms of the way you change others?
I remember that day like it was yesterday. It was the first time I spoke at a funeral, which was my brother's. And I can't tell you how many people was at that funeral. I mean, it was people waiting outside of the church, and it was a very big church. And my dad was like, "Son, you ready to speak?" And I was like, "I think so." He was like, "Man, you get up there, man, you get choked up." And that's the first thing that happened within the first 5 to 10 seconds, I got choked up. But then, you know, I was like, what, you overthinking this, man, just be you. And I got up and I spoke. And I spoke about, I didn't speak about him passing. I spoke about how I knew him and how the people that life he impacted, how they knew him. And it ended with me cracking jokes on him in the middle of this church with 500 people and everybody laughing. And my dad was like, "Yo, you a clown. How you get up there at a funeral and talking about this dude like that?" I'm like, what else was I supposed to say? So, and I went on and I spoke at my grandfather's funeral and then my best friend's funeral, and I was like, yo, you know, I got a gift of not only like telling these people stories, but like making these people laugh or feel loved at the most crucial time of their life. So I started noticing it, but I didn't actually believe it. And Prolific has gave me that space to do that on a weekly basis, regardless of the cause, whether we walk or run for, or like the hurt that we're dealing with out there, or whatever we're celebrating. I'm out there being myself, acting a fool every day, and I don't really care what anyone else thinks because it's being me. So I continue to live that way because no one stopped it yet. So.
All right, well, thank you so much for your questions. Let's give Littles one more round of applause. And that's it, folks. Thank you so much for coming. Please grab some food, coffee, all that good stuff on your way out. We so enjoyed having you here today, and I hope you have a great rest of your Friday, because it's Friday!
Happy Friday! No.